Hello, my beautiful fountain friends. Welcome to Creepy Nips. I'm the Countess. It's ink review time. Whoop! Today, we have Robert Oster Blood Moon. Yeah, here we go. It comes in this 50 ml bottle, if you get it in a bottle, but there are also places where you can get samples. Yeah, but you knew that already. Cool. This is a relatively new release. So let's get right into it. Spoiler alert, I really, really, really enjoyed this. Why is my focus not focused? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, cool. This nice deep dark red, as we will see from our color comparisons. Yeah, cool. All right, here's the chromatography. Set that up to the side. Get that up to the side. All right, so here's the card. Here is Blood Moon. Zoom. Whoa, hi, how you doing? What's up? There we go. So now we see this nice, rich, deep, delicious red. Oh, we got some of that Rising Reflections shimmer on the card, but whatever. We got a little hint of sheen in these parts, but that doesn't really show up in writing. You see nice, really, really dark here, and then you get a little bit lighter there in that application. That's a really cool kind of dark brown sheen. It's really pretty. It's really pretty, and I like it. Whoop. So there's Blood Moon. Okay. I have, a decent chunk of inks that are pretty similar. Here is Diamine's Deep Dark Red. A little more pinky undertone there. More sheen, clearly. But especially in these parts, it's pretty close, but they are different. They are different. It's not exact. I don't think I have anything that's exact. Here's Diamine Oxblood. Another popular option. It's a little bit lighter. It doesn't get quite as super dark. And again, it seems a little bit more on the pinky side. And also more sheen. This has this bright kind of green sheen. It's interesting. Really like Oxblood. It's a good color. Cool. And then we have Diamine Rider's Blood, which you'd think they're really not. They're okay. I kind of hate Rider's Blood. I don't like it. I don't like the name. I don't like the color. It's a bit too purple. I just don't understand it. I don't get why this was the thing that was chosen. But like in the writing, it's not super different, but you could definitely tell. Both super wet inks, but Blood Moon is a lot more manageable in a pen. But see, it's like more purple maroon, whereas this is kind of like just dark red. You know what I mean? So there's those. Case curious. Then, not very similar, but still a dark red. Here's Color versus Dirty Red. They're very different. Dirty Red's a lot brighter, clearly, as you can see. But here in these, the super wet part of Dirty Red versus the lighter part of Blood Moon, they're not incredibly dissimilar, but of course Dirty Red is also more on the pink side. Bam! Now we have delicious, beautiful, incredible, amazing, dominant industry Romania Red. Stunning! Love this ink, but of course this is not as dark and deep as Blood Moon. It's brighter, more of like a regular red, but on the darker side. It has all of this kind of amazing gold brown sheen. It's quite nice. Really nice. Really love this ink. But there we go. In case you have one of the two, you'll be able to know what the other one looks like. You know what I mean? And last but not least, of course, not similar at all, but a popular thing that people know of, Diamine Red Dragon. Certainly way brighter. It makes Blood Moon look brown. But I really love Red Dragon. It's a really nice, darker red. But it's not, definitely not as dark as Blood Moon. It's like, this is what people think fresh blood looks like, and this is what people think dried blood looks like. You know what I mean? Cool. There we go. There we go. That's all those. That's all. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, but speaking of dried blood, I use this palette, this little porcelain flower palette for the artsy sample, and that looks remarkably similar to dried blood. It's kind of terrifying, but amazing, and we like that. We're into the spooky shit here. Love it. Okay, chromatography. I got a dry one, and I got an instant one. They are a little bit different. So you see, it starts up like faint bit at the bottom. It's like this kind of navy blue that goes up into like a purple, and then this bright warm red at the top. Really nice. And then there's this like little bit. Hold on, maybe I should use a pointy. Here's a skinny pointy. There we go. So we got this like kind of, it's almost like a little bit of gold bordering them. But then we can look at the dried sample. That line at the bottom, that like kind of dark blurple, sticks around and goes up lighter, 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 and it takes away a bit of the darkness that goes at the top of the blurple. Really brings out that kind of gold, orangey kind of bit up there, and then again with that really bright, warm red. Really nice, really nice. Excellent chromatography. Very pretty. Boom. Here's the bleach test. This is on a scrap piece of Midori MD Cotton paper because I felt like switching it up from the normal watercolor paper. But like, look at what that does with the water. That's so pretty. It's so pretty. We get some of that sheen there. The bleach did not obliterate it. Definitely took away some of the color, especially in that little lighter bit there. Oh, that's stunning. Oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Beautiful. Amazing. Oh, and we look at that, like, peach. That peach color there, and that purple, and that, like, burgundy. Oh, stunning. Love that. This is just blended out with water. So there you go. Cool. Now, for the art sample that I don't hate. Hey! Again, we're nailing it here. But Jam, this is, spoiler alert for the video game Bloodborne. If you don't want to know what the vinyl boss looks like, here's the moon presence. The ink is called Blood Moon, and this is the Blood Moon in corporeal form. But yeah, look at that. Look at that. Oh. So, went pretty heavy with it over here. Lighter. We get some of that purple there. We get a little hint of that peach. And those really lighter parts, but like, oh, look at how deep and dark you can get it, and like how light you can get it when you really blend it out. Ah, amazing, beautiful, stunning. I was very happy at painting with this ink. It was really nice, really nicely behaved, really awesome variation. Nothing crazy. I didn't use bleach or anything on this one because I didn't want to mess it up. But hey, cool stuff. Look at that. Holy bajam. Amazing. Love that. Cool. Awesome. Now, pens used for the paper test. Kind of went a little extra with this one because I have a lot of this ink. I will never go through the whole bottle. And I figure why not just show all of the nib sizes. So, standing in for extra fine, we have a Pilot Prera with a fine nib. Excellent writer. Love this thing. This is seeing significantly better days. Big crack in the cap there, but it still does that thing that people like. Excellent writing experience. Then we have my TWSBI Mini with a fine nib. Oh! Fine. Sorry. For the eardrums. It's nice. Kind of a dry fine. Might need little bit more breaking in. I haven't used this as much as I would like to yet, but it's relatively new in my collection. Then we have a Pilot Falcon or Elabo with a soft medium nib. This thing is amazing. I love the Falcon medium nib. What is with the lighting? Why are you like this? Stop that. Yeah. Oh, if you put an ink in here, and if it's gonna shade at all, ever, in any capacity, this is gonna do it. Even if it doesn't shade, it's gonna make it shade. That's awesome. I love that. Next, we have super broad, super wet PenBBS 480 with a number broad. What? A number 6 broad Nemosine nib. This thing is the juiciest of juices. Amazing. Love doing this for showing off ink. And then we have a Wingsung 3003 with a Pilot CM nib. Calligraphy medium 1.0. Cursive italic, I guess. Kind of italic-y. It's not as smooth on the side to be a stub, but it's not super sharp. It's really nice. Love writing with that. So, allow us to go through the paper tests. I think I'm doing this in order, right? I don't know. It's been a hot minute since an interview, but wha-bam. We're going to go top down in density. Clairefontaine 90 grams per square meter. There you go. We got all of that. All the pens there. And we can see, look at how that like Falcon can get a little bit wetter than that super wet broad, which is interesting. But it's also a softer nib, so when you do downstrokes, there's a little bit of pressure applied. These tines are going to open up. And just ink just goes down. Look, oh, that's gorgeous. That's gorgeous. That's stunning. Amazing, but yeah, super juicy. Really nice. Really nice. Took 9 seconds in the Prera, 15 in the TWSBI, 43 in the Falcon, again 43 in the Broad. So they're kind of like on an equal wetness. There's a little bit of difference in line width, so I figured I'd show that. And then 27 in the Pilot. So kind of dry, not super wet, not really juicy. But juicy enough to really kind of get good stuff. Hell yeah. So we got cursive, really nice shading, no like feathering, no like bleeding, no craziness. It's just very nice, consistent experience. So then we have printing here, so we can see a little bit more shading if it shades. And we even get shading in that Prera. Nothing bananas, but it's definitely there. It's nice, that delicious fountain pen ink experience that we all know and love. You see how dark it can get when you really put the ink down? How light when you like spread it out and smear it. Super good. Super good. It doesn't want to move too much with water, but that's not a big deal. But it does have some water resistance. It just turns this violet. It's very pretty. Kind of fuzzes out, dyes the page a little bit, but like, damn. It's good stuff. That's good stuff. Hell yeah. And on the back we don't get... It's nice, sturdy Clairefontaine paper. You know what I mean? Hell yeah. Love that. Then we have Maruman Mnemosyne 80 grams per square meter paper. A little bit more on the creamier side. But it's not cream. It's just a little bit warmer base color. But that really changes the way this ink looks, depending on your paper color. And again, that shading. Oh god, it's so good. Nice big juicy smears. But like the dry times, I don't think any of them were... Okay, there's one of them over a minute. But like, damn, for how juicy this is, like, 10 seconds in the Prera, 15 in the TWSBI, 34 in the Pilot. Well, the Falcon, I guess. 49 in the Broad and 23 in that stub. Oh, super good. Really nice, smooth experience. Really nice variation there, too. I mean, look at that shading. Oh, God, get with me. scrumptious. Again, water kind of blurred out a little bit. You get kind of like a little halo of that sheen, but you don't get any of that in the writing. But like, it's not gonna obliterate it if you get it wet. And it's super nice. Really good. In the back we got nada. It's amazing. Oh, it seems like a little bit of ghosting here in the printing on that super broad nib. NBD, no big deal. And next we have Rhodia, 80 gram. Not super into it, but it's still kind of. This ink really shines. This is really. It's good. It's good. Took 7 in the Prera, 10 in the TWSBI, 32 in the Falcon, 38 in the Broad, 14 in the Stub. So this paper's kind of absorbent, which is of course going to decrease the dry times. But again, we still get that lovely shading. Rich and that broad, super good. I didn't have to prime any of the feeds at all. It just flowed consistently, deliciously, like a dream. And I know all of these pens have no issues with writing, so I wanted to just kind of, it's kind of control, Real good, but like, oh, that shading, it's so good. So good. Such lovely variation. And then with the water, we kind of turns that purple and a little bit of that blue that you get. Kind of obliterated it. That fine. I think that was the TWSBI. I didn't have enough room to do all of the everything because, God forbid, I cut paper evenly. But whatever, it's fine. And then on the back, swatch bled through. A little bit of kind of wanting to ghost on the broad printing, but everything else seems kind of fine. Good. Love that. Let's do that correctly. Next, we got a new addition to the friends, I guess. This is the Iroful 75 gram per square meter paper. I have heard rumors that this is the same as Cosmo Air Light, but this is a wider paper than the Cosmo Air Light. But it kind of behaves the same. Weird thing to note is that the Falcon was really squeaky on this paper. I'm glad I had headphones on so I didn't have to hear it, but I could feel it. It was like, oh, this is odd. But then I tried another piece of this paper and it wasn't bad, so I don't know. Just a paper fluke, I guess, but I love the way ink looks on this paper. Oh, look at that like subtle haloing around those super wet parts. Oh, it's so good. Dry times are kind of bananas. But that shading, look at that difference. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Now look at those chunky smears. This is very coated paper. Took 17 in the Prera, 26 in the Mini, 60 in the Falcon, 68 in the PenBBS Broad, and 33 in the Stub. Oh God. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, we get a little bit of that sheen. This paper is really good for shading and sheen. Oh my God. Oh, I don't have words, just monster sounds. Amazing. See, we get a little bit of that sheen there in that swatch. But you can see, compared to something bright white like the Clairefontaine, it brings out a bit more of like the kind of brownness of the things a dark red can do. You see what I mean? I really, really, really like this ink on creamier paper. It's so good. It's so good. You still get some faint hints of what was there in the water test. It's really not bad. You could totally see what you had written previously. But like, oh my God, I can't get over just like this part. Oh, so good. So good. Love that. Hell yeah. Oh, and on the back, this paper kind of likes to ghost. But this one's not too bad. Faint hint of something there, but hey, no big deal. Still really good. Love that paper. Love that ink. But that's the longest dry time that we have overall. Next, we have Tomoe River 68-gram cream. Oh, look. You see that, like, rich, kind of brownish shade of red coming out here. Oh, it's really good. Really good. Oh, look at that end there where it's super dark on those edges. Oh, amazing. 14 in the extra fine, 22 in the fine, 49 in the medium, 52 in the broad, and 25 in the stub. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. This was my jam. I really like this. That shading there. That shading there. Oh. All of the shading. Get a little bit more of that sheen there in the swatch. Really interesting water reaction there. But again, Tomoe River kind of doesn't like to hold onto the ink the way some other papers do, so the water test is a lot more faint than it has been. Not a huge deal, but it's definitely going to be harder to recover than some of the other friends we have seen. Oh, I can't get over that. It's so good. A little bit of, it's a dark ink, but it's really hard to see what was on the back. So that's really good. We like that. Hell yeah. Here is the 52-gram Tomoe River White. Nice skinny paper. Love the crinkle. Didn't seem to get as dark on this paper as it did on some of the others. And we do get hazes of sheen over all of them in the scrubbies there. Took 15 seconds in the Prera, 18 in the Mini, 47 in the Falcon, 55 in the Broad, and 34 in that stub. Cursive sample. Oh, God, really excellent ink. Super good. I can't stop raving about it. I don't really have anything bad to say. Which is good. It's nice to not have anything bad to say about an ink review. Especially one that I was super hyped for as soon as I heard about it. And you see that sheen there, and oh, look at that part. This kind of rusty kind of bit there. Oh, real good. Real good. Water test is bad. This is kind of bad. You can kind of see there was stuff there, but you're not really going to get it back. Especially if you use a very extra fine nib. But hey, whatever. That's Tomoe River. You know what you're getting into. Little ghosty. Especially on those really super broad wet pens, but it's not terrible. You could totally write on both sides of this, except maybe in the swatch part. Like, hell yeah, good stuff. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Now we have, HP Laserjet Premium 32-pound. HP Premium Laserjet 32-pound. Whatever. Like, fucking card stock. Ink went like right into this paper. Those dry times are kind of stupid. Not as stupid as the next one, but like we got a lot of that spread. It went right in. You don't really get. Still kind of shades. That Falcon and that Broad. Still quite subtle, but yeah. A little bit of feathering, a lot of spread. Not super good if this is what you're going for. I'm debating just like cutting this paper out of reviews entirely. But if this is something you're interested in, if you like to know how inks perform on this Laserjet paper, you let me know in the comments. I love getting them. Sometimes I don't have everything to say about all of the things that you say, but I read all of them and I appreciate all of them all of the time, forever. But yeah, it doesn't look super good. Usually inks don't look super good on this paper. That's just how it goes. That swatch kind of sucks. But then the water test, interesting. It definitely sticks around. This ink, because again, this ink went like right into the paper almost immediately. So I mean, the water test just is kind of like halos of. It's really pretty, definitely. It's that like chromatography thing all over again. But yeah, it didn't take more than 3 seconds to dry on any of them. And on the back, we get some bleed. Some bleed in those wet ones. Those fines did really good. Like, they didn't bleed through at all. But those wet ones really kind of yikesy. Gross. I hate it when ink bleeds through this paper because it's so goddamn thick. I couldn't imagine having a notebook of that paper. It would drive me insane. And then we have the worst 20-pound copy paper I've ever used in my whole life. Gross. Sorry about the nasty noises, but oh my god. Look at that spread. Look at that feathering. It was kind of really mean to use the Falcon and the broad on this paper. You know. I didn't even write any numbers for the dry times. I was just like, oh. Everything just like went in immediately. I think that was just some leftover ink that was on my finger. But like, ugh, gross. No. Oh god. Oh god, it's horrible. It's terrifying. I'm getting frenzied just looking at this again. No. Good lord. Hell no. Terrible. We hate it. The swatch. There's like no variation in it. It was even like hard to do the swatch. I had to like, it's like the only time I did have to prime the feed. I used this so that it wouldn't get like that. Because it doesn't have like a tip on the back. It's just flat, so it's good to do swatches with the back of the nib. And like, it took a little bit to get the ink out. And then the water test, gross. I mean, it looks kind of pretty, but it's no. You don't want to get this wet. Should I show you the back? Should I just skip that part? No. Oh god, everything bled. Everything. All over the place. No. Oh god. No. Bad. Gross. Thanks, I hate it. It's terrible. Gross. Oh. Blech. Palette cleanser. Midori MD Cotton. My beloved, my favorite, my everything paper. Oh yeah. The way it's kind of creamy, it does that. What I like about it, this ink on creamier papers. A little bit more of that brown. Nice kind of warm red kind of dealio. Doesn't shade quite as much as it did on some of the others. Took 8 seconds in that Prera, 12 in the TWSBI, 50 in the Pilot Falcon, 52 in that broad nib, 23 in that stub. Smears didn't go quite as far as they did on some of the other papers. For example, the Tomoe River cream. Get in frame, thank you. This is definitely a wider paper than this cream. So you see a little bit more of that difference. It gets kind of rusty, and this stays kind of a little bit closer to a true red. Oh, this was so good. This was so good. I love this paper. I love this paper so much. Get some of that nice juicy shading. The way that ink sat on the paper for that broad, it was really nice. Really good stuff. That swatch also looks interesting. We get some sheen on like the border of like the water part and the ink part. So that was really cool. That peach comes out there. Really nice. That peach, purple, dark red. Amazingness. Love that. Water test didn't do super good, but it's better than it was on some of the other papers. You can still definitely get some of that back. NBD. But this is like the sky in the Blood Moon part of Bloodborne. It's really good. Bloodborne's like my favorite game ever. It's probably most of the reason why I was excited about this ink, but you know, kind of ghosty on this paper. That's not like a huge deal. Of course, there's like light shining through the back of it right now. You see, kind of see through it, which is interesting. I have no idea what this paper weight is. Probably around like 80, 90, something like that. Maybe like an 85. I don't know. But still, good stuff. Love that. Leuchtturm. Ooh, wait, first. I got this little sample paper pad of Ayush paper from Fountain Friend Dean. Thank you so much. This paper is really cool. It's got a lot of tooth, a lot of texture. Can you see that? Real good. This isn't a whole test, but here's what it looks like on this paper. Really deep, rich, really, really nice texture. I don't know if I like this paper as much for lighter inks. For example, this Birmingham Stormwater Runoff. But the writing experience is really good. It's really crunchy. Look at that straight away. Yes. Anyway, yeah, cool. Then, bam. Whoop. This was another kind of long dry time, but only on that Falcon. I think I might have pushed it a little bit too hard, but it looks really pretty. The smears are nice. Took 12 seconds in the Prera, 25 in the TWSBI, 75 in that Falcon, 53 in the Broad, and 30 in the Stub. And we get a little bit of that hazy sheen there, real nice. But like, oh, that shading's really good. I like this paper a lot. Really, really nice variation. Super good. Love this. And on the back, kind of, I mean, you can see through the paper. It's not super thick. You can kind of do that with any ink that you put on this paper. But it's not intrusive at all. I wouldn't say it is, at least. So that's really good. Do I have anything else? Oh, I do have more than 5 pens inked with this. I also have it in my Chesapeake Pen Co. Oyster with the Franklin Christoph 14 karat gold fine sig flex by Jim Rouse, which is incredible. It was my favorite writing experience ever in my whole life. But I didn't want to include it in the review because I feel like that would be unfair. Because, you know, shit's expensive. These are a lot more commonly seen and found pens, nibs, inks, etc. Inks? It's only the one ink. What are you talking about? Whatever. Oh no, dropping clips. Whatever. So there we go. That is my overview. Robert Oster Blue Moon. Herman and Mermanibur. Hoopty boopty. Happy fun. Whoa! So I hope that was helpful, informative, or anything like that in some capacity. Thank you for watching. Oh, big stretch. Oh god. Anyway, yeah, that was fun. I hope you had fun. This was fun. I love you. Punch nuts. Goodbye.